Hello and welcome to ThomasGeigerCar. Today with the fourth generation of the Porsche Cayenne, or at least the car that wants to become the fourth generation of the Cayenne, because we're joining the engineers on their final development drives here in southern Spain. And while the crickets are making lots of noise, the car is pretty silent because it's the first fully electrified Porsche Cayenne, a car that has to boost the electrification at Porsche. After Taycan had a great start and kind of a harsh stop, and Macan didn't go that well until now, this car has to pull the company towards the future. And if you want to know what to expect from that vehicle that will hit the roads early 2026, join me on my first ride with the engineers here in Spain at ThomasGeigerCar. The car is still lightly camouflaged, so we can't identify the details, but as usual the Porsches are black and have just some teasing and some cheating on the fenders and on the lights. But if we look at the size and the shape of the car, it hasn't changed too much. Yes, it's much more aero efficient than the outgoing model, all due to the gain of range, and it grew slightly in length. The outgoing model was 4.93 meters in length and the wheelbase was 2.90 meters. Porsche told me they will gain a few centimeters. I would estimate the wheelbase shortly under 3 meters and the length will stick shortly under 5 meters. The car has the same width, it's a bit lower so that you also get more aero efficiency. And it is more roomy than before. We have almost the same size of trunk, and same as in the Macan, we have a decent frunk. If we take a look in here, there is still the cover for the prototypes, but it's almost 100-liter additional storage capacity under the front hood. But enough of talking, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Let's get in the car and get a first ride going. Okay, finally we're behind the wheel of the new Cayenne and have a first insight in the way the car behaves, in the way the car drives, and I had the chance to talk a lot with the engineers and to get at least some data about the vehicle. What a surprise! The SUV is more on the sporty side of the segment. That is due to the Porsche heritage. It is still a quite comfy cruiser, but if you change the drive modes to Sport or Sport Plus, you feel the heritage and you have a bit of 911 feeling, just with a better view and a higher seating position. When it comes to the technology that enables that, we have a rear wheel steering, we have a air suspension, we have adaptive suspension, giving you the chance to change the character of the vehicle by the push of the button. And we have a very sporty drivetrain. All the Cayennes are four-wheel drive, all the Cayennes have two electric motors, and all the Cayennes have at least more than 400 horsepower. The base model will come with more than 400 horsepower. The top model will be the turbo with more than 1000 horsepower. 1000 horsepower. We're then in the hypercar segment, with a vehicle you can take your family on a vacation. Third model in the lineup will be the Cayenne S, that will somewhere sit in between the two extremes, a little closer to the base model than to the turbo, because the turbo will become the icon of the family and will be really outstanding, not only due to the power but also due to the design and the functionality. All the cars, for example, have a deployable rear wing, but for the turbo they have also invented some electrically deployable side plates that pop out of the fenders once you're driving a bit faster, reducing the drag, giving you more range, and let the car look really, really cool. Talking about range brings me to the battery. Porsche has invented a brand new battery for the vehicle. It's not a carryover from any other model, same as the platform. The platform is a new development based on the PPE platform that carries the Q6 from Audi and the Porsche Macan. So this was the starting point for a completely new development of the architecture with one battery size only for the Cayenne that has 113 kilowatt hours, translating into a range of 600 kilometers at least. No matter which version, they all go 600 kilometers. They are very, very efficient. They are very, very well regulated when it comes to temperature, and they're very quick in charging. The architecture has 800 volts. The battery is cooled by 2 layers, one at the top, one at the bottom, giving you a charging power of more than 400 kilowatts. Precise figures are not determined yet, since homologation is still on the horizon, but we're talking about a charging time from 10 to 80% of less than 16 minutes. So it is really fast at the charger. And for sure, it is a Porsche. It's also really fast on the road. The turbo accelerates from 0 to 100 in less than 3 seconds. And if you floor the pedal, you really bounce against the backrest. And you have to train your neck, otherwise it will hurt. If you keep pushing the throttle, it's less than 10 seconds until you hit 200 kilometers per hour. And yes, also the electric Cayenne makes more than 260 kilometers per hour. So yes, it is still a typical Porsche. Something less typical is the practical side of the Cayenne. For example, you can haul a trailer of 3.5 tons. You really have to look hard to find another EV with such a towing capacity. Another surprise will be the pricing. At least that's what the Porsche people telling me. For precise pricing, it's a little too early. We're still almost a year ahead of the market launch, but Porsche has to make the Cayenne a success. For that, you need a good product and you need a good price. And Porsche told me the price shouldn't be the reason not to buy the electric version. The time where you could put a huge surplus on the price just because it's electric is gone. Competition is up and people are still a bit skeptic about electric mobility. So you really have to convince them, and you may not punish them with high prices. So far, the official saying. There is no unofficial saying, but if you look at the prices of the actual Cayenne that will stay in production and will be amongst the toughest competitors for the electric version, price in Germany is starting at 101,500 euros, and I assume this will be the same range for the electric vehicle. We will not go into 5 digits figures, but price will also not increase dramatically. Somewhere between 100 and 110,000 euros would be my estimate. We're all used to having a very sporty drive in a Porsche on tarmac, no matter if it's a sports car or SUV. But when it comes to off-road driving, Porsche is surprising us one time after the other. They've taken it really serious also with the new Cayenne. It's the most versatile Porsche, and it has to perform in severe off-road tracks. Tracks that you don't even want to walk. Nevertheless, they are driving it. Or in this case, I'm driving it. They asked me to drive the Spanish stairs. Not the ones in Rome, the ones in Spain. A hardcore piece of off-road in one of their testing grounds. And they've put all the technology in the car that you need for that. You can raise the air suspension by 2 levels from a ground clearance of 19 centimeters up to 24.5 centimeters. You can use the instant torque of the electric motors. You have a different setting for the off-road driving with a different response of the throttle. You have cameras to help you find the way. The bonnet becomes kind of see-through. You can look at the wheels and see the angles. That makes off-road driving quite easy. Yes, definitely a Defender or a G-Wagon might go even further, but this is more than I would dare to do in any other car, and no customer will really ever do that. The best seat in the house definitely is the one behind the steering wheel, but if there is a Porsche
that has an effort on the rear seat as well, it is the Cayenne. This is the family car of the company, and for sure that's the reason why it's the best-selling car in the company, sometimes conquered only by the Macan if that is in full swing. Other than that, this is the most versatile car of the brand and the car that has the most even focus on all the seats. That's why the engineers have improved the rear seat comfort significantly as well. We have a slightly increased wheelbase, we have slimmer seats, giving you more comfort even as grown up on the rear seat. But I must admit, this comfort might be shortened in the future, at least if you opt for the coupe, because definitely there will be another coupe coming. Since the Cayenne coupe actually is selling pretty well, they would be stupid not to continue this success story. What is definitely not coming, even if the competition is quite happy with it, is a third seat row. They have been discussing that, and they declined the discussion to make the car not bigger than it already is. And they're doing good in declining it, because there is another Porsche model on the horizon. Call it an Uber Cayenne, the big one, the big brother, dubbed K1, that will come in 2 or 3 years, and that will definitely have 3 seat rows, giving you more option for even more people. Thanks for joining me on that exclusive development drive with the next generation Porsche Cayenne, the first fully electric one. A car that has literally to overcome a steep hill, since electric mobility and Porsche didn't pick up yet. But, as they say, the third time is the charm, and this car has all it needs to go uphill and to raise the sales of Porsche electric vehicles. It is bigger than before, it has more capabilities than before, it is more powerful, it has the better battery, it charges quicker, it drives faster, it is just the better car. And if you really don't like it, don't be sad, they will keep continuing the production of the petrol-powered Cayenne as well. Thank you, Shishya, Sai Chen, and goodbye.